The next thing we're going to learn about are modules, and modules are pretty easy in Rust. They're about structuring your code. They're also called namespaces in other languages, and it's basically just a way of putting related things together, related functions, types, and things like that. And you can see we've been looking at modules the whole time because in the standard library, these are all connected this way, and so this string type is inside the module string, and you can see, there you go. So it says this module, and so inside this module it has all sorts of related stuff. We also looked at like the sync module with mutexes and things like that, and you can see all the all this stuff inside of there. So let's just start with making our own module, and the keyword is mod, and all you do is you open and close some brackets, and then you put your stuff inside of there. So let's of course you have to give it a name. So let's say, okay, this module is called print things, and it's about printing things. And so we so let's give it prints one thing. So let's give it a function, and we would like to put a let's make this generic. So it's going to take a type T that is anything that can implement display, and then we're going to say, okay, please print this thing as long as it implements display. And so that it's not going to work yet because we have not we don't have display in here yet. So it says cannot find trait display in scope, and so usually you would say standard format display, but actually this won't work either because it still says it's not in the scope. So you can see that modules really are their own little world. So you at the top of these modules, you always see declarations like what are you bringing in. You can bring in other modules and things like that. And then the next thing is above modules you have something called a crate. So everything is a crate. You have a crate is like all of your code. And then inside of that you have mods if you want, and then inside of that you have your individual items. And the reason why Rust uses the word crate is because you imagine you have all these like crates on a ship, and say you want to send something from one country to another. You take this crate, put the stuff in there, and then you kind of like put them on top of each other, and they're all ready to go on the ship. And that's kind of what cargo does in Rust. And this is the package manager. And if you install Rust, then you pretty much do everything with cargo. And cargo will take your crate and then look inside and see, do you need to bring in anybody else's crate? And if it does, then it'll download it and it'll put it here. Put them next to each other, and then everything combined becomes your program. So that's where the word crate comes from, and then you can see it here if you want to call this function. So you would the full path is crate print things prints one thing, and then give it a 9. And this is almost going to work, but not quite, because it's going to say this function is private. And the way to so that means we haven't given access to this yet, because you don't always want to give access to every part of your code. But if you do, then you write pub in front of it. And there you go. So that now it's finally working. So we go into crate, print things, call this function, and that's the full path. And of course, if you want to bring it in, you just do the same thing. Crate, print things, and then you could do like, say you have more functions, you can just bring everything in with that. Let's say prints one thing, and now we are able to get rid of that and just use it like a normal function. And by the way, Pub, you also need to use this for mods. And then you might wonder, why is there, why could we access this? And that's because the first mod is private to the crate. But if you put a mod inside of a mod, then that will start out as private. But this mod is actually, if somebody else downloads your code, say they're using Cargo and they bring this in, this mod is going to be private to them. So if you want to make it private or public to everybody else, then you add that pub keyword. So that's one thing to watch out for, because you might think that it's public because you can publicly use it here without using pub, but it's actually private to anybody else that wants to download your code and use it. And that is about half of what we're going to learn about mods. It's not too difficult, but I'll have another example in the next video, and then you'll probably be ready to start experimenting with it yourself.